How do you feel about NHLers going back to the
I'm
Olympics?
excited. That is something I'm excited for.
Yeah.
Let's go back to what we started this conversation about, this podcast about the All-Star game, just for fun, and they're just playing for shits and giggles. This is pride. This is winning for your
Yes.
country. This is winning for a
1,000%.
gold medal, and
1,000%.
that's where and I find there's gonna be, my opinion, more passion in there than what we see at the NHL level before
Joey,
playoffs.
yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Anthony. Joey, do you think that World Cup of Baseball tournament that happened last year kind of influenced the NHL to go back to this route again? Because not just that. Sorry, yes, the NHLers are going to the Olympics, but did you guys see the tournament that they're doing as well?
See, that I would think there's more of an influence of doing a World Cup of hockey rather than the Olympics.
So, dude, I'm so happy. Joe, we were in Italy when the World Cup of hockey was starting, right? It was towards the end of our trip.
2016.
That's right. We were in Italy. We were in Italy that year, right?
Yeah.
And I remember, I think a couple of times we were watching Canada against the States, like when Shea Weber almost wanted to kill Max Pacioretty, his future fucking teammate. So, literally, I think it's great for the game of hockey. Anthony called it, best versus the best. You're going to get actual passion, heart in this because it's representing your country, which is massive for European players. It's for Team Canadians as well, especially now.
For Yoel Armia, it's the biggest thing in his life.
For Yoel Armia, that's his time to turn into fucking Timo Solani meets Wayne Gretzky. Anyways. So the four country tournament, it's Canada, the United States, Sweden, and Finland, and that begins in February 2025. They're gonna split the games in Montreal, which we better fucking go, and Boston. And then the NHLers are going back to the Olympics in 2026 and even in 2030.
Sorry, 2025 is what, the World Cup of hockey?
It's not the World Cup.
It's not the World Cup, but call it the mini. We'll call it a mini World Cup of hockey because you're missing teams like you're missing Slovakia, you're missing Czechia, you're missing Russia. So if you want to really go back to full circle, Anthony, and the lack of pride at the All-Star game, Nikita Kucherov.
Wow, what a fucking loser. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
I still haven't seen it, by the way. I didn't watch it yesterday. I wasn't.
He was just nonchalant.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Okay.
He's always like that, though. You have to accept.
No. Hold on.
Anthony, can you please I really want you to hear this. I have a conspiracy theory for you.
Conspiracy.
But Anthony, would you take him on your team?
Eyes closed.
Of course.
Eyes closed.
So I don't know if he wants to be nonchalant about because he's being forced to go to the All-Star game.
It's not the point. Okay, Sam, finish your point, and then I'll give you my opinion.
Yeah, but he's being forced to go to the All-Star game, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
He's being forced to go, right? Or else he has to sit a game and he doesn't get paid. Yeah, if you don't go to the All-Star game,
you get
have to
fined
sit a game
and a suspension.
You get fined and you have to sit. I actually don't agree with that.
Price, they did it to Price. They did it to Ovechkin.
Yeah, I feel if you don't have any motivation to do something, you shouldn't be forced. I'm sorry. But to me, Bettman is looking at it as well. I want to make money. I'm sorry if I'm the player and I don't feel like that's something I want to do. I shouldn't be forced to do it.
I agree, but okay, finish your point, Sam.
But they owe it to the fans that pay money for this league.
You gotta look at it that way too. You're a millionaire.
I'm questioning it. I'm not saying they do.
I think it's both right, but he shouldn't be nonchalant about it. But him being forced, I don't think helped.
Okay. No, okay, agreed. Okay, I'll just say that. Okay, go, Sam. Go.
So this is my conspiracy theory. It's just my own. Nobody else's. They announced the return of players going to the Olympics, and they announced this 4-country tournament. And obviously, with all the shit that's still going on in the world, politically, with Russia, there's no mention of them joining or participating in these international hockey events. I think Joey might. There's a 100%. There's a 99.9% chance that Joey's right. He just didn't want to be there. I think that was some kind of a protest that Nikita Kucherov pulled off on the ice.
That's actually, I didn't think of it. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a very good.
It's valid.
I'm not saying he did. That's why he did it. I'm not in his head. There's a very good chance, like Joey said, like, look, man, I don't want to be here. Okay, I'll whatever. I don't know. Just there's something that's just telling me. It's just I don't know if it's a gut feel, instincts. I don't know what the fuck you want to call it.
I'd
I
believe it more, Sam, if it was another player, but this seems to be like Kucherov's character.
Mhm.
I feel he's come off as a type, like if he doesn't give a shit, he doesn't give a shit. And
Joe,
I don't know.
you might be 1,000% right.
If this was something like someone like Ovechkin, I'd believe that more. Because Ovechkin, no matter what he does, he gives 100%.
Of course, of course. I could be
But
wrong,
Some
but
fact checking.
yeah.
but it is something. Honestly, it is something that I haven't thought of, and I think it's very valid to bring across for sure.
So all that to say is with these international tournaments, and I think more than anything, if you send these NHL players to these international tournaments, like I think there's a lot more spotlight in a positive way on the NHL than these All-Star weekends, especially now
Yeah.
with the way they are. So I don't know why the NHL does. You, so Joe, well, everybody, how you have the World Cup and the Euro Cup every 4 years, but they play in between one
Yeah,
another
every 2 years, basically, is one or the
every
other.
2 years. So why doesn't the NHL allow this for these players? And there's a lot more to talk about within it. You have and you know where I'm going to go with this. Every 2 years, you have the Olympics. You have
Well,
the
every
Olympics.
4. It's just every 2. There's a tournament. It's still every 4.
You have the World Cup of hockey, which the last time they did in 2016, in my point of view, was a massive success.
They
And
they play more games, Sam. Remember, hockey plays more than soccer.
but when you do that, when you do the World Cup of hockey, you do it in August, mid-September, and you reduce training camp games or
Yeah,
off
but
or
you still have to
preseason
play
games.
Does
82 after.
question
I
does
get
Batman get paid for this?
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. He gets paid for everything.
Well,
No, I don't think he
no,
does. Hence
no,
why he
no,
doesn't
but
allow this to
yeah,
happen.
yes, but whatever. But you put these guys belong to the NHL. Whatever they make, the owners, whatever they make in terms of sales, whether it's international or even just buying their jerseys on the NHL, just because, oh my god, fucking Connor Bedard is on Team Canada. They may not buy a Bedard jersey, but fuck, they'll buy a Chicago Blackhawks jersey. Money goes to the Chicago Blackhawks owner, and that part of that money goes to Bettman. It's a vicious cycle. But all that to say is, if it puts a positive spotlight on the NHL, Bettman's going to benefit from it anyways.
Sam, I would
I
say to
think.
do it if they reduce, and we always talk about if they reduce
Mhm.
the amount of games. They play 82 minimum. Soccer, the worst teams like play maybe 45. It's
Okay.
literally half. The
So yes.
worst teams, the best teams play like 60.
So in all honesty, if you do put these players into the Olympics, or in this case, even this 4 country tournament, then yeah, you have to reduce the NHL schedule.
I always said 60 to 65 games.
You do it. You do it during those years, and
There you
then
go.
and then
No,
that
you
one.
don't change it though. You don't change it. The year that they have nothing, you don't go back to 82. It's 60 to
So you
60.
give them these teams what a 2 week bye instead of 1 week.
Yeah, or you can just finish the season earlier. Like instead of finishing in June, the cup, you could finish in May.
Probably. Yep, you're onto something. I think.
I mean, we had, to me, I don't know if it was the best year because we didn't play all the teams, but I found teams were able to give a lot during the COVID year because they only played, how many games was it?
It's like 57.
Yeah,
That's my
56,
memory.
57, whatever. To me, 60,
Yeah, but that
65
was-
is the perfect amount.
Yeah, but that year is the year that destroyed Weber and Price, and even
Well,
Paul
they were
Byron.
already, Sam, they were already, I think they're already destroyed, to be
Yeah,
honest.
but that put an official stamp on their retirement.
Yeah, I know, but whether it came that year or another year, to me it was gonna eventually happen. I just think if you're gonna do that tournament, you got to reduce the games because I think 82 is too
Some
much.
way, somehow, yes, they do. I agree.
At the end of the seasons, you have to see all these bad teams the way they're playing and that have no shot at playoffs, You have to see just how they are. It's just I don't know.
No, reverse it. These teams that are playing well, they're gonna have they're not sure if they're gonna want to send their superstar to go play.
Well, don't they take a break when they play the tournaments? They always break.
Sure, they break, but it's like fuck. Let's say Colorado's like, well, we need Nathan McKinnon healthy because we need is Rantanen Finnish?
He's finished, yeah.
Yeah, fuck. Well, we need McKinnon. We need Rantanen.
I don't know about that. About the control of if you can keep the player. Like I'd be very surprised if
I
all
don't.
the superstars
I'm not.
are knocked
No,
out.
I don't know that either. But I'm saying like if I were a general manager, like I'd be shitting my pants every time they step on the ice playing.
Yeah, of course, but I don't think I don't know. I don't think they have the choice though. I think they actually go.
All that to say is I'm happy the NHLs are going back to the Olympics. I'm happy there's another international tournament coming up. This is what we need. This is what the NHL needs as well. Because all those times when when they were going to the Olympics, like the best times, honestly, like if you look at from 2010 up until 2018 or the last time they stopped going to the Olympics, that was some of the best hockey we've seen from like when Price won the gold with Crosby, Weber in 2014. 2015 was a great year. 2016, the World Cup of Hockey was amazing with all the teams. That Team Europe, you had North America, which was all the young guns on the team, like you had McDavid, you had Matthews, you had Eichel, you had McKinnon, you had Johnny Gaudreau. Like for the next generation of players, like you put a team like that together, it's like that's where you'll get the best hockey. I agree with that, Anthony. I think that's where the passion could come back as well.
If they have a World Cup, I hope they actually play some games here in Montreal.
Oh, it would be sick.